how are you? I hope all are good. So today let me start SST chapter number 3, British and our villages. British और हमारे इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट ऑफ ब्रिटिश रूल. तो जब ब्रिटिश सरकार का शासन आया, ब्रिटिश जो अंग्रेजों ने शासन किया, तो हमारी जो इकोनॉमी है उस पर क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ा. The economic policies of the British government in India brought about many changes. बहुत बड़े बदलाव आए इन एग्रीकल्चर, इंडस्ट्री एंड ट्रेड. ठीक है, एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड में, इंडस्ट्रीज में और व्यापार में. These policies had by and large an adverse impact on the lives of the Indian people as their only aim was to promote British economic interest. वो चाहते थे केवल यहाँ पे जो है ब्रिटिश इकोनॉमी जो है वो प्रमोट हो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा. इंडियन चीज़ें, भारतीय चीज़ें, और भारतीय उसको ना कोई भी वो ना कर पाए. A natural consequence to the British rule was the economic exploitation of the country. Systems of land revenue collection, वही टैक्स. Even though the industrial revolution was in progress at this time, in England agriculture was the mainstay of the Indians and the chief source of income of the government continued to be land revenue. The British introduced many systems of collecting revenues from the farmers, but all of them were very oppressive. यानी कि इजारदारी system. It was during Warren Hastings' tenure that the system came to be introduced. It is also known as system of auction because the land was given to the highest bidder. Most of the bidders usually offers more than they could actually pay. They did not cultivate the lands themselves. They had the tenants or small farmers to do it for them. The condition of these farmers was miserable because the bidders would extract the maximum from them. The permanent settlement. Lord Cornwallis made some improvement over the confusing state of affairs prevailing under the auction system. Lord Cornwallis was himself a landlord in England. The system he introduced in 1793 gave property rights to zamindars who became permanent owners of the land. They were required to pay a fixed amount of land revenue. So, किसको? गवर्नमेंट को देते थे हर साल. It was during this period that a big class of landlord was created. They had become the most loyal supporters of the British rule. These landlords had the right to eject the cultivators for non-payment of dues. The permanent settlement remained restricted to Odisha, now Odisha, Bengal, Bihar and coastal areas of Andhra Pradesh. Rotwadi system, what is this? It was chiefly introduced in Carnatic, now Karnataka, and Mysuru by Lord Hastings in 1830. Under this system, cultivator was the owner of land as long as he paid the land revenue, which was revised almost every 20 or 30 years. The system was not bad, but the British revenue officer was corrupt and very strict in revenue collection. Almost half the net produce was claimed as land revenue. Bad monsoon brought famines that further increased the poverty of the peasants. Mahalwadi system. It was introduced in the Gangetic Valley, northwest provinces, Punjab and parts of central India. Under this system, Mahals groups of villages were created as community blocks. They were held responsible for the collection of land revenue from their respective Mahals or blocks. The rulers resented the annexation of their territories. The nobility was angered by the loss of their zamindaris. So, the craftsmen suffered under the new trade policy. तो सबसे ज़्यादा जो नए व्यापार की पॉलिसी आती थी, किसे? क्राफ्टमैन सफ़र कर रहे थे. ठीक है, अंडर द एक्सप्लॉयटेशन whereby they had to face unfair competition with foreign goods. अब क्या होता था? अनफेयर चीज़ें होने लगी थी. प्रमोट जो ब्रिटिश जो गुड्स था कि उसको ब्रिटिश जो सामान था उसको ज़्यादा प्रमोट कर रहे थे लोग. अब जो हमारे इंडियन क्राफ्ट्समैन थे वो पीछे होते जा रहे थे. All these different sections of society expressed their anger and hatred for the British rule through protest and revolts. Effect of the land revenue system. अब उसके क्या इफेक्ट पड़ते हैं? All the systems of collecting revenues were very oppressive that increased the misery of cultivators. Permanent settlement created a class of landlords who ruined the peasantry. The zamindars took no interest in the development of land. Instead, they become merely absentee landlords living in Kolkata or at other big towns on the income derived from the farmers. So, peasants became an increasingly indebted to money lenders and zamindars as a result of the oppressive land and revenue system. A shift from food crops to cash crops. Towards the end of the 18th century, the company started forcing farmers to grow cash crops that would become a raw material for the manufacturing industries in Britain. Among such crops were indigo for dyeing clothes, mulberry for rearing silkworms, poppy for opium, tea, coffee, sugar, cane, oilseeds, jute, and rubber. These crops were grown on large estates called plantations, and their owners were called planters. Tea plantations were established on a large scale in Assam, North Bengal, and Kerala. Factories for processing indigo, poppy, and jute were set up in Bengal and Bihar. इंडिगो जो है ना, कपड़ों को कलर करने वाली जो डाई होती है ना, वो होती है इंडिगो. नील इज ए नेचुरल ब्लू डाई. नील आता है ना, बॉटल में आता है आजकल. Is extracted from the leaves of indigo plant, genus Indigofera. It was a popular dye since ancient time and was also exported to other countries. Okay, so since only a small amount of Indian indigo reached the European markets, its price was very high. So the European cloth manufacturers depended on another plant called woad to make violet and blue dye. It was grown in northern Italy, southern France, and in some parts of Germany and Britain. So, cloth dyes, however, preferred indigo as it produced a rich blue color. Whereas पहले आता था ना, पहले नील आता था सूखा, ड्राई पाउडर टाइप आता था, उसको जो है शॉपकीपर उसमें देते थे किसी पैकेट में उसमें, और अब तो वो उसमें लिक्विड में आने लगा है ना, बॉटल में फिल होके आने लगा. Okay, whereas the dye obtained from wood was pale and dull. By the 17th century, the British East India Company started exporting indigo to England textile industries. वहाँ पे उसको एक्सपोर्ट करना शुरू कर दिया इन्होंने. ठीक है, इंडस्ट्रियल रिवॉल्यूशन gave an impetus to the textile mills in England. So they needed more of indigo dye to color the clothes. They had started to produce in their textile mills. मतलब हर तरह से लूटना शुरू कर दिया उन्होंने. In the early 18th century, other European colonies in America and Caribbean also started growing indigo. However, its supplies from these colonies collapsed due to several reasons: the growth of textile industries and the rising demand of printed cloth in Britain increased the demand of indigo. Therefore, the company increased its production of indigo in India. The indigo trade in India grew rapidly. Attracted by higher profits, many company officials left their job to become planters and began to invest heavily in indigo production. Those who had no money took loans from the company and local banks for growing the crop. Method of indigo cultivation. Indigo cultivation was done using one of two methods, Nij and Roti. The Nij system, the Nij cultivation, the planters produced indigo in plants and they controlled directly. So the either bought the land for rented it from other zamindars and produced indigo by directly employing hired laborers. Under this system, the planters faced difficulty in expanding areas for indigo cultivation. Indigo could only be grown on fertile lands, but these areas were already densely populated. Or at times the planters tried to lease these lands and evict the peasants from there, but it led to conflicts. Moreover, a larger plantation required a large amount of labor, plows and bullocks. However, the labor was not easily available as the need for them coincided with rice cultivation. Therefore, till the 19th century, the planters were not willing to grow indigo under niche cultivation. The Roti system. Under this system of indigo production, the planters forced the Roti, मतलब उनको फोर्स किया जाता था ठीक है ना, peasants to sign a contract सत्ता with them. All times the village's headman was pressurized to sign the contract on behalf of the ryots. The planters gave cash advancement to those who signed the contract at low rates of interest to produce indigo. Seed and drill were provided by the planters, while the cultivators were the ones who prepared the soil, sowed the seeds and looked after the crop. The planters also gave loans to ryots to cultivate lands and transport the harvest to the factories. Okay, so the peasants had to pay these lands by continually supplying indigo. Failing to do so would result in ritual beating, seizing of cattle, destruction of houses, etc. by the planters hired laziness men armed with. Also, after harvesting indigo, the land could not be used for sowing rice as indigo cultivation exhausted the soil's fertility. Both the system of indigo cultivation were oppressive and led to revolts in the mid-19th century. The Blue Rebellion. There were widespread rebellions by peasants. Rebellions मतलब जो बागी हो गए थे लोग इनके प्रति. और riots in Bengal in 1859, peasants all over all the region refused to sow indigo and attacked indigo factories armed with bows and arrows, swords, spears and stones. Women armed with pots, pans and other kitchen tools also joined the revolt. अब क्या किया उन्होंने, इनके खिलाफ संघर्ष शुरू कर दिया, आंदोलन. ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? In many villages, the headmen and local zamindars who had been forced to sign indigo contract led the protest. They went around the villages urging the peasants to resist planter as they were unhappy with the increasing power of the planters. As the revolt spread, intellectuals from Calcutta rushed to the indigo producing district. They wrote about the misery of the peasants, the tyranny of the planters and the horrors of this. The indigo system, Neel Darpan, a play by किसके दीन बंधु मित्र highlighted the plight of indigo cultivators of that time. उन्होंने रोल प्ले किया, ठीक है ना, अपनी जो है उसको बचाने के लिए उन्होंने कि भाई इस पे हमारा अधिकार है, आप लोग इसको नहीं लूट सकते. Worried by the rebellion, the British brought in the military to protect the planters from assault. उनको परेशान करने के लिए जो लोग प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे थे, ठीक है, and set up the Indigo Commission to inquire into the system of indigo production. The commission reported instance oppressive methods used by the planters on indigo cultivators. It thereafter issued a notice to stop forced cultivation of indigo in Bengal. After the revolt, indigo production collapsed in Bengal, but the planters now shifted their operation to Bihar. Here, they started the same oppressive practices. It was only in the early 20th century when Mahatma Gandhi visited Champaran and a movement was launched again, indigo planters. Okay, so all topics are covered in this chapter here. I hope you all are very well enjoyed and understand also. So we will see you in the next class. Thank you.